Hey guys, before the video starts, I just want to give a great shout out to my wonderful members Jesse HOH, Trashy Paper Plush Shows, Dazzling Hattering, Enchanted Stones, David Hero, and Plush Anime Game Adventures. Thank you all so much for the extra support. You guys rule. Now, onto the video.
So we're on a Grand Prix. Better than torn up in every moment. If it all's worth my eventual sense, maybe then time again will weave a thread until the end. Vow with you and I that when we die we'll leave behind a meaningful legend.
Hey guys, it is I, TDI Fan, and in this video, I'll be talking about this movie that I just watched. Yup, I watched Thunderbolts. Yesterday, I went to see Thunderbolts. That's right, on Mother's Day, I went with my family to go watch Thunderbolts in theaters, and what are my thoughts? So, before all of the reviews started coming out, I did not really know what to feel about this movie. I wasn't that excited. You know, it's pretty much the MCU's response to the Suicide Squad, if you know what I mean. Getting a bunch of, like, anti-heroes in a way to come together and, you know, form a team. That's pretty much what this movie is in a sense. Then when the movie came out and people went to see it, people were saying this is one of the best MCU movies ever. Like, it was very highly received, and I did not expect that at all. So that really did pique my interest even more. And then, you know, I work at a theater, right? So when I heard from coworkers who have seen it, they're like, oh yeah, this movie's really good. And I'm like, okay, well, then I gotta check it out for sure. And I finally got the time to see it, and they were absolutely right. This movie is a very good movie. Like, definitely one of the better MCU movies recently, like, since, I want to say, I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine was good, don't get me wrong, but I think this one's a bit better, in my personal opinion. I would say this is one of the, like, great MCU movies since, like, Guardians 3, and that was 2 years ago. So, yeah, Marvel hasn't really done well since then. I mean, Captain America Brave New World, that should be an example right there. But Thunderbolts was definitely a surprise. I don't think anyone expected this movie to be really good, and it is. Like, the story is really good. From what I've been hearing, it, like, brings a lot of people back to, like, the peak era of MCU, and honestly, I can definitely see that. Like, the story, it does, like, take me back to back then when they would just release hit after hit, and this movie is pretty much up there. It's even better than some of them, to be honest. And this movie really got me to feel for these characters, everyone except for Taskmaster. If you know, you know. But this movie really did get me to feel for all of these characters, even like Red Guardian, Yelena, obviously, Ghost, U.S. Agent. These characters that I didn't really care about much at all when they were first introduced, but now this movie, like, that brought them all together, gave them a bigger role in the story or in the whole MCU timeline, and this movie really did, like, win me over for a feeling for these characters, specifically with Yelena and US Agent, because those two definitely, like, they definitely got way higher up on my list for how much I like these characters, for sure, after this movie. And Bucky is here. Sure, he didn't really have much to do, but hey, he's a good surprise. And then we got the character Bob, aka Sentry. Yeah, he definitely stole the show for me. He is definitely my favorite character from this entire movie. And you know why? Because they really did a good job depicting how depression feels with this character. Like, we get to see depression in a new way. Like, you wouldn't really expect a comic book movie to dive into depression, but this movie does that, and they do it really well. Like, that whole moment, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That whole moment near the end with the Void, that was a really good moment, and I was like, damn, this is from Marvel Studios, a studio that has been really not like doing well for the most part. And then this comes out. I was really shocked to see how well this movie turned out. At first, I was like, yeah, this was really good. But now that I think about it, now that I talk about it, now that I think of the movie some more, I'm like, this movie's really good. And I'm really glad that this movie's pretty much hopefully turning Marvel on the right direction, or in the right direction, for making more movies like this, because this is what we Marvel fans have been missing. We've been missing movies that are really good like this. Great action, great characters, great story. This is what we need. And Thunderbolts is just that. So if you've been giving up on Marvel lately, I would still recommend for you to go watch Thunderbolts. This is one movie that you should not miss if you're a Marvel fan like myself, because this movie really did justice for us Marvel fans. Like, we have been wanting Marvel to get back on track. And this movie hopefully will be the movie that does so, because for me it is. But I don't know. We got to see how Fantastic Four is story-wise and how it does financially too. Now, what's sad is this movie isn't really doing well currently when it comes to its financial state, but I don't know. Hopefully things will turn around. But I mean, the summer movie season this year is kind of packed, so maybe not. But I really do hope you guys go and, show some love and go support this movie, because this movie really does need its support. It's one movie that you should fully support based on how good it is and how great the acting is from all of these actors. And yeah, the movie's just great overall. If I were to rate this movie out of 10, I would give it a very solid 8 out of 10, which honestly is great for a Marvel movie, especially for recent Marvel movies. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Thunderbolts. I really like this movie. I liked it so much that I'm going to see it again tomorrow with my brother. I mean, it's because he didn't go with us yesterday since he was working, so I'm going to see it with him. So it'll be his first time, but it'll be my second time. And not going to lie, I'm looking forward to watching it again. So yeah, that should say something. That should be hopefully enough motivation for you to go check this movie out if you haven't seen it already. Or if you have, do you agree with me with how I think this movie, or how great I think this movie is overall? And yeah, those are my thoughts on Thunderbolts. What are your thoughts on it if you've seen the movie? If you haven't seen the movie, hopefully this is enough motivation for you to go see it. I didn't really talk about spoilers too much, so, but yeah, definitely check this movie out. If there's like not really much movies out right now. So if I were you, I would go see this movie while you have the chance, before the madness that is Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible, which is like 2 weeks away. So if I were you, I would definitely check this one out as soon as you can, because it's a really good movie. And like I said, this movie needs its support. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. And I really do hope, like I said before, I really do hope this is a good, what's the word? This is a good track, or will put Marvel back on track with making great movies. And I hope for that to continue with the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. But we'll see. Only time will tell. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.